The weather forecast with Coloca and its multipurpose banquet hall, Il Palazzo.
Bonsoir, ladies and gentlemen, and glad to have you again on the weather forecast. So between tonight and tomorrow morning, we would have a calm weather across most parts of the country, with a possibility of isolated rains on the southern border near Nyabesan. The least temperature in the far north and east regions would be 17 degrees and 15 degrees in the Adamawa region. The least in the center would be 16, 22 in the south, 17 in the littoral, and northwest region stands at 24 degrees as the least temperature. We go over to the west region, where this evening we have a 0% possibility of rainfall, and same thing by morning, with Banjul having the lowest temperature at 16 degrees. Over to the north region, this evening we have a 0% chance of rainfall, and same thing by morning, with Poli and Cholire having the lowest temperatures. Lastly, we go over to the southwest region, where tonight we have a 0 possibility of rainfall, and same thing by morning, with Bangem and Menji having the lowest temperatures. Why not make our time to go see what Lake Barumbi in the southwest region looks like? Thank you for watching, and do have a good night.
Coming up tonight, printing presses wee, political parties woo, and potential voters exhibit high expectations as preparations for the February 9, 2020 joint elections intensify in Cameroon. Classes for the second term of the 2019-2020 school year are on in parts of the northwest and southwest regions, with schoolgoers expressing optimism in spite of the huge challenges. And two continental female volleyball giants clash in Yaoundé this night. The match between Cameroon and Kenya largely determines which team qualifies for this year's Olympic Games. The details right now. Thanks for watching the 7:30 news on CRTV. I am Moki Edwin Kinzaka in Yaoundé. The printing of campaign and ballot papers, as well as production of envelopes for the February 9 twin elections, is progressing satisfactorily at Sopekam and the National Printing Press, where some of the electoral material is being printed and produced. Officials affirmed that they will deliver before the deadline. Ebenezer Kanga was there.
For the February 9 legislative and municipal elections, Elekam has placed a command of 33 million campaign and ballot papers for 5 political parties from the Cameroon News and Publishing Corporation, Sopekam. Since the command was placed, Sopekam has been as busy as a beehive doing the job. Machines are turning non-stop, the staff is working tirelessly, while the services of temporary workers have been sought for to accelerate the work. According to the Director of Production at Sopekam, the campaign and ballot papers of all the 5 political parties for the legislative elections have already been printed. For municipal elections, printing of campaign and ballot papers of the 5 parties is 60% done. This leads officials of the Cameroon News and Publishing Corporation to affirm that they will finish the job before the deadline, which is the 25th of January 2020.
The delay we have is about 26 January, but now we are about 60%, so we think that we will complete the job before the delay.
At the National Printing Press, Elekam has placed a command of some 9 million envelopes. Here too, the job is being executed with a celerity, and officials of the printing press say they will also deliver before the deadline given them.
Although there have been divergent views and disputes on the electoral code, the February 9, 2020 municipal and parliamentary elections must take place. That is a commitment of the state of Cameroon. Luma Slim Davis reports on the strategies put in place to enable voters to be in possession of their voters' cards before successful polls.
The municipal and parliamentary elections billed for February 2020 promise to be highly competitive and heated. Participating political parties and other interest groups are fine-tuning strategies either to wow voters or maximize gains.
You can receive this electoral card in our branches, local branches. Also, the day of the election in the police station, the day of the vote. We invite all the persons who are registered to go to our branches, local branches, to take the card before the election.
With about 32 days to voting, all eyes are widely turned towards election scam roll.
We have more than 95%, what is very important, has capacity of distribution of electoral cards. I feel that this percentage is good, and we are continuing to sensitize all the population. We have a number 811 where the electors can call us. The elector can call Elecam to know how and where. I continue to repeat that the electors have to go to our local branches where they can have all the information to take the card. If you are not, you can vote. But when you are registered and that you are not the electoral card, you can vote with your identity card.
At the Elecam Regional Delegation and the Yaoundé One Elecam Sound Council Center, assorted voting materials stockpiled, ready for distribution.
Political parties running for the February 9 polls are working tooth and nail ahead of the official launch of campaigns not to be taken by storm. As part of preparations, many contesting parties are holding preparatory meetings, raising funds and mobilizing voters. Kilandan Fund took the temperature of the state of preparedness.
Here is the CPNR party in a strategic meeting in Yaoundé ahead of the February polls.
We have constituted the list. We have signed 2 circulars. The first one for the strategy, the elaboration of our project and programs. Another circular for the strategy of communication.
The CNF focuses on the message that will vote out its rivals.
I understood that the health is a problem. I understood that the way that the budget is shared, there is something wrong. And we need somebody to go to the National Assembly to emphasize the fact that there is not equilibrium, there is no balance when sharing, when dividing the budget.
Proximity strategy is what the ANDP party is working on.
Nous sommes en train de confectionner.
We are working on our manifesto while waiting for the official start of campaigns. We are also holding strategic meetings and raising funds to face our rivals.
Ceux qui vont compétir contre nous.
The SDF vows it will not succumb to intimidation.
SDF is having a lot of difficulties in the Anglophone zones of the country. That is Southwest and Northwest. We are having a lot of attacks. Most of the candidates of Santa are on the run. SDF candidates are on the run. We have decided to be Republican and face these elections and face the people to give us the mandate to fight for them. The SDF is immune to intimidation and blackmail because we are used to that.
The CPDM is building an offensive strategy on several blocks.
3 factors are important for the General Secretariat. One is organization, meetings, contacts, consultations with all the stakeholders at all the levels. 2, mobilization of resources, human resources, material resources, financial resources, and 3, management, or you can say administration.
The campaign for February 9 polls will not take the contesting parties by storm.
350 peacekeepers of the National Gendarmerie have arrived in the Southwest region to protect people and their property. The Southwest Gendarmerie Legion Commander, Colonel Mbozi Chinda Henry, told them that their mission is to secure the region before, during and after the February 9 twin elections. Guy Roger Nana reports from Boya.
15 trucks carrying 350 galvanized soldiers of the National Gendarmerie made their triumphant entry into the Southwest Gendarmerie Legion Command office in Boya. The men and women who have vowed to defend the colors of the national territory were detailed on their newest mission in the Southwest region, that of providing security to people and their property while maintaining peace and order in the region. during and after the upcoming elections in the country.
These elements came here to secure the population and to do everything so that the elections of the 9th February will be held in the safety conditions. To the population is to be confident in National Gendarmerie, to be confident to go to elections knowing that Gendarmerie is with them, Gendarmerie is there to protect them.
These gendarmes were reminded on the importance of respecting human rights values while carrying out their tasks within the region. At press time, the men and women were being spread into groups pending deployment into different localities within the southwest region.
Schools in most towns of the southwest region have effectively reopened their doors for the second term of the 2019-2020 school year. Oliver Ambai visited some establishments and reports that both teachers and students have embraced the new term with optimism in spite of the challenges that are ahead.
After 2 weeks of holiday, the gates are once again open in most schools across the southwest regional capital, Buea. Classes have resumed in earnest. School officials have reiterated the importance of the second term, which they say is a short but very crucial one. Hence, there is no time to waste.
Today, we've had 4,361 students in school. And of the teachers we expected, we had 95% of the teachers were expected. Members of administration, 100%. It's a short term but quite decisive, and that's why I said in the administrative meeting that we all have to be alert. This is the only term left, particularly for those in examination classes, to actually study and do revision.
Special measures have also been put in place to ensure a successful term.
We have supervised prep, which takes place every Tuesday and every Thursday of the week. The students for examination classes, they have 2 extra hours that they stay back to study, not extra classes, just to study. But the studies are being supervised by us, the members of administration.
The current socio-political challenges notwithstanding, the education community in Buea remains upbeat and hopeful for a smooth academic year.
Pupils, students and teachers in Bamenda have effectively resumed classes for the second term of the school year. Teachers are struggling to complete their schemes of work, while pupils and students are pledging to work harder and improve their performances. All Latitanki reports from Bamenda.
At Government Bilingual High School, Bamendankwe, by 7:36 a.m., some students could be seen on campus cleaning and putting things in order to begin classes at 8 a.m. Meanwhile, at the Government Bilingual High School, Bayeli, the effervescence could be seen, students on queues to seek for admission and others to pay fees. Those who had already regularized their financial situations are in class receiving lessons. The same effervescence could be seen in some primary schools in town, where the kids, though excited to meet their friends and teachers, had no time to waste as effective classes kicked off. At the École Publique Francophone du Camp Militaire Up Station, statistics from school officials indicate that out of the 265 registered pupils, 253 answered present. Same scenario at the CBC Pilot School for Inclusive Education in Queen and the St. Bridget Nursery and Primary School Up Station, where the turnout was encouraging. Considering the context under which the children have to study, authorities in most of the primary and secondary schools in the city of Bamenda say they will organize several catch-up classes to ensure that the teachers complete their syllabus.
The population of Nkambe in Donga-Mantun division of the Northwest region have received their own share of the special humanitarian package donated by the presidential couple. The distribution exercise was supervised by the senior divisional officer for Donga-Mantun, Simon Quentido, who called on youth still in the bushes to drop their weapons and embrace normal life. Elvis Teke reports.
140 of them indigents from the Bui and Menchum divisions of the Northwest region who now live in Kambe in the Ndonga Mantum division as a result of the conflict in their hometowns. They've come out in their numbers today to benefit from the presidential couple's humanitarian aid. Having suffered pockets of violence from those referred to as intruders, the people of Kambe were reminded on the occasion of the distribution of the humanitarian aid to remain law-abiding, peaceful, and those of them still in the bushes were encouraged to lay down their arms.
They should come out and then face active life. We have given them all assurances that they will be taken care of if they put down their weapons and then come out like many who have done so before them here in Ndonga Mantum.
The humanitarian assistance from the head of state came as a sigh of relief to the beneficiaries who narrated the ordeal they went through in their villages before relocating to Kambe.
That was Mercy Kusi reporting from Kambe. For several years now, medical experts in Cameroon have been working on a universal health coverage system that provides equity and social justice in health care. The system intends to provide Cameroonians with free or less expensive quality health care and prioritizes the needs of the vulnerable. However, the Minister of Public Health, Manoda Malashi, says there are still challenges to its effective implementation. Yoti Kalelisonga reports.
For universal health coverage in Cameroon to be effective, experts say the population, like medical personnel, need to understand the system.
People seeking care need to bring a sort of contribution to the payment of the care. But we are working on to have a more equitable system with people bringing more money, and those who cannot afford their care access also to the same quality of care in that universal health coverage system.
Putting together funds is another challenge which, when overcome, will ensure a better output.
Those free of charge cares, those resources that are not well integrated, to integrate them in order to be more efficient. So this is one of the biggest challenges regarding the way of financing our healthcare system.
Upgrading healthcare to be sure that a person's socioeconomic status does not hinder the type of treatment given. This is also central to the successful implementation of universal health coverage in the country.
Government will recruit a private partner who will take care of logistics, collect contributions, and pay for health care.
It is not all stumbling blocks, though. The first phase in 2019 provided for subsidized vaccination, healthcare services for children, as well as gyneco-obstetric solutions to pregnant women.
We have programs which are free of charge. So we want to consolidate those services like HIV, which is now completely free of charge beginning this month of January.
The global implementation cost is 126 billion CFA francs this year. With children and pregnant women still a priority, it remains a progressive system that envisages health coverage for all.
A majority of commercial motorcycle riders in Yaoundé have failed to respect the Prime Ministerial instruction which restricts them to the peripheries and others to wear helmets, vests and respect the highway code. While many claim to be ignorant of the rules, others see it difficult to respect. Rana Tusali was downtown Yaoundé and paints a picture of the situation.
This commercial motorcycle rider was on his way to deliver bread, but ended up delivering his bike to the council police. The battle between council police and commercial motorbike riders seems to be a swan one.
I was not aware that this is a restricted area and I didn't see any sign.
Council police and motorcab riders are indeed sworn enemies. Theirs is a cat and mouse game, since most bike riders will not respect the Prime Ministerial order which restricts them to the peripheries and orders them to wear helmets, vests and respect the highway code. The council police is determined to make them budge.
Majority motor taxman don't respect this council. You have to give them very satisfaction to try and understand what is the interest for this discipline.
It is a finger-pointing game, though, the council police accusing and the supposed culprits denying.
In my zone, for example, we have distributed 200 vests. So finally, we don't know what they want.
As in other years, it promises to be tough this year getting the Prime Ministerial order respected. But there is a glimmer of hope.
I have my 2 helmets, the other one is in the house. I have my driver license, category A.
His kind is like a drop of clean water in a polluted ocean. The challenge remains. The police will have to do more push-ups to get the bike riders wear helmets, stay clear of main streets, and simply respect the highway code.
Remember, yesterday we began a series on personal development and happiness. Tonight, we look at professional coaching. Experts say it is a form of coaching that drills employers and employees on career management and how recruits should welcome new directives for their personal development and the growth of their enterprises. Beatrice Gum reports on the role of professional coaching in personal development.
She said, boy, you are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people.
And it came to pass. Today, Denzel Washington is touring the world through his videos, imparting lives professionally, this time not as a movie star, but as a professional coach. Professional coaching being a process experts say is beneficial to both staff and enterprises.
When you have a good coach in your career, you can gain years and be promoted. For the enterprise is to help the enterprise to give a good target for your staff, for them to understand where you are going.
Professional coaching within an enterprise can be divided into different categories.
You have a business coaching, you have a management coaching, you have team coaching. Coaching of group is related to the team building.
Experts equally say professional coaching should go beyond building the career. It should also prepare for retirement. But in Africa, career coaching is far-fetched. Retirement coaching, a rare notion.
You have the challenges of management of your time, financial challenges, even physical challenges, health challenges. You have to be coached about all of that.
Yet coaching for retirement prepares senior citizens.
The coaching is about to tell them that you don't just focus on your salary because their salary will be reduced, and you have many other opportunities, financial opportunities.
African enterprises therefore should begin thinking of how to seek for coaching services for their staff and retirees.
45 staff of the Ministry of Public Service and Administrative Reform have begun a 5-day training on the use of ICTs as a way to better manage the modernization process of the public service in the country. The minister of that department, or Minister Joseph Lee, launched the ceremony. Emmanuel Avamni reports.
They have joined the digital world to better understand what it is therein that can help them to better manage documents of the 260,000 civil servants and contract workers in Cameroon.
We have acquired new material, computers and so on, thanks to the head of state. We need to appropriately use all what we have acquired.
45 personnel of the Ministry of Public Service and Administrative Reform on the starting line of the training at the African Institute of Computer Sciences, EIE, that envisages over 600 nationwide.
Even if you already know something, you still need to come and learn again. That's why more than 600 of our staff are here, but those in the 10 regions will also receive this training.
For close to a week, they shall be trained in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Internet, and social media, amongst others. The official launch at the EIE campus in Kolanga, outskirts of Yaoundé, was an occasion for EIE students to exchange with the Minister of Public Service on the possible openings for them upon graduation. The digital exercise is coming few days to the kickoff of a national colloquium on the modernization of public service in Cameroon.
Bishops of Cameroon were on day 2 of their 43rd annual seminar organized by the National Episcopal Conference in Goya, Obala Diocese in the Central Region. Discussions today centered on how to preach the gospel of Christ in such a way as to bring peace. Among the several speakers was Christian Cardinal Tumi. Alice May was there.
During the in-camera meeting, the bishops and archbishops brainstormed on the different strategies that will ameliorate on the Episcopal Conference for the benefit of the Catholic Christians in particular and to all Cameroonians in general.
Let us look at the history of our conference, of the conference in the Catholic Church. It started with the time of Christ, what Christ was meeting with the apostles, and the bishops are the successors of the apostles.
The senior clergy advised the bishops on skills and techniques of management.
Well, their principal work is to proclaim the message of God, the word of God, and to prepare the people confided to them by God, by the Holy Spirit, for the coming of Christ.
One of the major points discussed during the meeting was how the Catholic Church can help make peace reign amongst the youths.
We looked at the place of the youth in the church, their faith and vocational discernment, what they are in society, what they are in the church, and where they hope to be as adults.
One of the main objectives of the church is to be an organization that is bringing peace. What we want to do, mainly in the actual situation of the country, is praying.
Today's meeting was an occasion for the celebration of the anniversary of His Eminence Emeritus Christian Cardinal Tumi's 41 years as bishop, 47 years of His Grace Bushu Emmanuel as Emeritus Bishop of Boya, and the 3 years of His Lordship Emmanuel Dassi as the Auxiliary Bishop of Bafoussam.
Cameroon's Lionesses are presently playing against Kenya in their third match of the ongoing qualifiers for this year's Olympic Games. After 2 victories in 2 matches, the Lionesses need to win again this evening to keep qualification chances alive. Let's join Bodwin Sama at the Yaoundé Multipurpose Sports Complex. Bodwin, what is going on?
Echo. Good evening to you, Moki Edwin. You're welcome to the Yaoundé Multipurpose Sports Complex for this very decisive match between Cameroon and Kenya. And at this point in time that you're handing over the microphone to me, it is the second set of the match that is being played, and Cameroon is leading Kenya 20 points to 17 during this second set. Just to remind our viewers that Cameroon lost the first set of this match, 16 points to 25 for Kenya. The match is ongoing presently, a very, very difficult match for both teams. As you can see, the volleyball Lionesses of Cameroon with this 20 points lead as against 17 for Kenya during this second set, are trying as much as possible to consolidate the lead and to win this second set that will permit them to keep their hopes alive of qualifying for the Olympic Games this year 2020. So far, the volleyball Lionesses are 5 points away from winning this second set. Presently, it is 20 points for Cameroon and 18 points for Kenya during this second set of the match. After Cameroon lost the first set of the match, we are keeping our fingers crossed, hoping that by the end of today, the volleyball Lionesses must have picked a qualification ticket, which means they must have defeated Kenya. Back to you, Moki Edwin.
Thank you very much, Bodwin Sama, and welcome back to the studio here. We wish the Lionesses good luck. In more volleyball news, Cameroon's male volleyball team will tomorrow in Egypt clash against Tunisia in a qualifying tournament for the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo, Japan. The volleyball Lions, who arrived in Cairo yesterday, had their first muscular training session this morning. Bodwin Sama has been following up from Yaoundé.
Cameroon's volleyball Lions Tuesday afternoon in a relaxed mood, 24 hours to their crucial match against Tunisia, their all-time African rival, as the players spent more time discussing among themselves on their chances in this tournament to pick the lone available tickets. Later, most of the players were involved in a muscular session in the hotel's gymnasium, a way of preparing the players to be physically fit for Wednesday's clash.
We think that tomorrow they will fit for the competition. Now we are working the matchup to know exactly what is the strengths and the weakness of Tunisia. And I think tomorrow we will get a very good counter-attacker and good side out to win the match against Tunisia.
Their bitter defeat conceded against Tunisia last year at the final of the Men's Africa Volleyball Cup of Nations is still fresh in their minds, as the Volleyball Lions know that a victory against Tunisia this Wednesday would permit them secure a good start in this competition with an eventual qualification ticket guaranteed.
The Senior Divisional Officer for the Mifo and Akono Division, Antoinette Zongo, has supported development efforts carried out in the area by sons and daughters of Otele. They have consolidated their fraternity ties through a tournament christened Festi Noel, whose final was played in the presence of the Deputy Director of the Civil Cabinet of the Presidency of the Republic, Oswald Babuke, and former Lion Rigobert Songbanak. Details with Romeo Kenya from CRTV Center.
Otele is located in the Mefo and Akono division of the Center region and is host to people from different backgrounds. Due to its cosmopolitan nature, the area is faced with some challenges, particularly the absence of social amenities and many others. Jackie Rodok chose sport to mobilize youth and elite to pass across her message, an idea appreciated by administrative authorities.
It's an encouragement for us to see how the people and the song and the daughters of Otele are doing for the development at their locality, and I am assured them that the government is on their path.
Among those willing to spearhead the development caravan in Otele are elites like Baboke Uzval and former Indomitable Lions captain.
Coming from here, I think everything is possible. I'm going to bring my modest person I am to do what I can do to make them to be more happy.
The first edition of Festive Foot Noel Otele that ran for 2 weeks saw the participation of 10 teams, with Yene Yene FC winning Zwambi FC 2-0 in the final. Meanwhile, in the sidelines of the game, some young renowned Cameroonian musicians spiced the occasion with exciting rhythms.
And that ends the 7:30 news on CRTV. Join Adel Mbala in exactly 30 minutes for the news in the French language. I am Moki Edwin Kinzeka Njaundi. Thanking you for watching.